Hello, I'm Rangru.
And I'm Graham.
And we're here today with another 1v1, of course, from the Wargame Bootcamp Discord Elite
Hmm.
Tournament. We're on a highway to Seoul, apparently. And who do we have playing today?
So on the left-hand side here, we have Adler in the blue playing as Blue 4 General, excuse me. And then on the right, we have the GrapeJellyMan. He's a star here of the show. And he's going ahead and playing USSR as usual.
But with a slightly different deck compared to his previous showcases of USSR. A bit more of a safer deck, I would have to say.
Yeah, I really like X because we talked about it before the cast, just in our little BS rap session. I do think that I like some of the changes that he's made here. He still keeps, like elements of his play style, I think, in his decisions, but it's definitely a little safer, as you said, and a little more traditional in the deck building.
Yeah, it's not going to be full send-in with Russian Marines and KA-29s. That's reserved for the command troops now.
Like that, he still has the K-29s, he still has the MI8s. He clearly likes being a little helo heavy, but shifting a little bit into a more traditional ground-based force also, I think, will work out for him better.
We're seeing actually a little bit of helicopter plane benefit of Adler here. His Gazelle cannon getting a drop on the Mi-8 and some of the Rodevkas. We've also seen a decent investment in AMX-10 RCs, of course, from Adler, a real blue Formex staple. And yeah, Grape's just really trying to get some of his recon infantry up into his forward positions.
Yeah, and what's funny here, the Gazelle cannon down there by Echo, I have a feeling it might actually lose out to the K-29 because the armor there. So the auto cannon actually will probably kill this Gazelle. Yeah, it should hear actually any moment. And the other one wasn't. I don't actually think it killed the Mi-8, did it?
Uh, I think he killed the run
Oh,
up
maybe it
north.
did.
Did he? Did it run off?
No.
Anyway, it's a
But
T-72 just shooting down the road.
yeah, it
Two
doesn't actually matter.
T-72s.
Yeah, so we see the AMX-10s, the RC engaging the T-72. It's not really a good fight for it. Adler's going to want to back that up there. Though it does get a shot in taking out one of the MTLBs there so that Monostrelka getting shot at before they can even dismount. And we see the T-72s pushing up to kind of support him.
Yeah, of course, with the standard deck versus mech deck, GrapeJellyMan is going to have that armor advantage by quite a bit with those heavy T-72s. Adler really only has K-1s, which are decent, but
Right.
against Soviet armored forces, it's going to be a bit difficult.
Yeah, this frontal armored assault here is pretty powerful for GrapeJellyMan. We see Ari also brought up a Nona as well to provide some smoke cover, though he's currently dropping in the middle there for his Vetka. It's a little far back there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
anyways, T-72 is engaging the Chumot there, or no, the vehicle next to the Chumot. So excuse me, it's a little bit messy there in the middle there. The infantry's been fully dismounted, all their vehicles are destroyed, but the T-72s are kind of chilling in the forest line, letting them move up and probe.
Oh, I think he was dropping the smoke so he could get his buck a bit closer. Okay, that makes sense. He was a bit scared of ATGM play, but I do like his area of push here for GrapeJellyMan, because even though it's not directly capturing Bravo, if you manage to get a good foothold in the center area of the map
Right.
by the highway, you can screen out Bravo to stop reinforcements and slowly choke them out, and it gives you a pretty good launch pad into attacking Charlie.
Yeah, I think the only problem there is that the flanks are a little bit exposed. We saw there the T-72B taking the side shot from the AMX-10. So you want to be a little careful for the GrapeJellyMan with your armor, just kind of leaving it in between essentially what could be two pincers. But there's nothing in Delta that can threaten his tank, so he's pretty much safe for now as we see the Roviats pushing into the forest there in Golf. And there's really nothing to contest him, actually, just this one Screzit.
Yeah. Yeah, and just some VDV blokes as well. As you've seen from Adler's deck, he is going full hog on the Roviad spam.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's all about it.
I think it's mainly for the Zeldas, because of course they're such a 5-point transport.
Right.
Makes up for the lack of mediocre firepower of the Roviats. But yeah, we're seeing up north, Adler's actually pushing quite heavy in here. Just some cheap Roviats, but it's all he really needs.
Yeah, and they actually do open up there in the K-29. They panic it, but this MI-8 should turn around here in a second. Oh no, the Flak Panzer Gepard opens up. One MI-8 is going down. Now he's going to go ahead and turn his cannon on to the K-29, though he did lose line of sight there for a second. But both helos look like they should go down here momentarily, which is a nice little pickup there for Adler. Though this T-72B ring is decided to say full ended here. Not a good move.
That was not a good move at all. I understand he really wanted to kill out Flag Panther. Of course, GrapeJellyMan really does love his helicopters and want to preserve them at all costs, but that was way too risque.
Yeah, it definitely looked like some real world action right there. The Russian tanks pushing up with no infantry support. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
I haven't seen that one either. That's something you only see in Wargame.
Yeah, it's only a war game thing,
Yeah.
but that is kind of funny there that the T-72B does go down immediately. The K1 and the AMX-10 now actually can fire down into onto the main road here as the GrapeJellyMan tries to bring up some BTRs. Oh, his Rezvekka squad, excuse me, goes down as well.
Yeah, just looking at the map, Adler is in such a good position. He has Delta, he has Echo, he's pretty much got Golf, he has complete map control because GrapeJellyMan has really fully committed to a more central push, and right now it hasn't really paid off, like, as expected. Like, he can definitely recover from this, get a good foothold directly into Delta, try to clean up Golf a bit with some CQC troops which he's bringing out, but he's definitely lost a bit of that momentum.
You know, what's interesting is GrapeJellyMan really did opt for the real world tactics here, just pushing on the main road and leaving the flanks completely unsecured. And so now you kind of do see here that Adler is pushing around, but the problem is obviously collapsing on the position here. The VDV are going to push up. The Roviet were killed off by the Superior and the BTRTs. So GrapeJellyMan does have a lot of firepower here. You just kind of need to be careful with it. You don't want to attrition it out against, especially your infantry against the mech player.
Yeah, and the mech player, of course, has a lot of mechanized infantry to spam, and I mean, Soviets, as usual, it's more about using your super heavy units and fire support units to gain the victory. As your infantry is good, but you just don't get a whole lot of it.
Yeah, and once again, I want to point something out because we've seen GrapeJellyMan play on this map a couple times here. If you go to Hotel, he's using the Skrezits and then having his VDV walk all the way from Hotel to Golf there. It's kind of like the Uber driver said, I don't want to go there. And so they decided to just hang out. But I really don't see how that's efficient in any way, shape, or form. Like, that's going to be minutes before those VDV are actually up there in the fight. And they're not, VDV rank is in the Skrezit isn't a cheap unit.
Oh, it's 25 points for the VDV and 15 points for the Skrezit. I guess it's to save availability slots from not having to buy like a cheap, like Afghansky vehicle for base defense, for example. But it's gonna take quite a while for those VDV to make it to the front line. They probably risk a helicopter.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely, it's going to take them a minute. Though these commando pairs get absolutely trashed here by the VDV and the T-72 combo in the middle. But it's still it's a really weird, I think, flow of the game, Ring. Whereas Adler clearly has a lot more on the field, and it's spread out across pretty much the entirety of the map. Whereas the GrapeJellyMan is really just centrally located between Delta and Golf here. And I'm kind of, Adler honestly could make a big push on Foxtrot. He doesn't have the God vision we do, but besides those Factorias that are almost out of ammo, there's really nothing to prevent it.
Yeah, and of course with mech players, it's definitely an advantage is getting that map control because of all the cheap infantry and just vehicles which are forced to spam. And as we've seen, he's going to be taking advantage of that, getting that plus run into Delta.
Yeah, the plus one's already started here, and then GrapeJellyMan actually responded by buying a CV. I don't know if I really like that move. I think he needs more substance on the map. It really feels like he's allowed Adler to get into these advanced positions, and he's going to now start entrenching here. As we can see, we have Carl Gustav tank hunting teams. We have Swedish shock infantry. I mean, really, the only thing missing here is some more K1s.
Yeah, it's a shame for Grape he didn't manage to get into the forest just northwest of Delta, outside of it, at such a key position. If you're trying to make that central location push, because that's such a good defensive spot for shooting up north and down south. But like you said before, like being exposed on that road, you're exposed north and south sides. And those T-72s are scary, but a flank shot from a K1, as you saw earlier, is also something you don't want to try for with.
No, absolutely not. And we see here, even and there are also Chumats in Adler's deck as well. So it's not like he doesn't have AT capabilities. He has the Recon Leopard, and he has a Thunderbolt. So he has plenty of options available in his deck to deal with the more heavier armor that GrapeJellyMan can deploy. I think the biggest problem for GrapeJellyMan right now is just zero map control. And now we do see that K-29 is going to stop here, and he should cap Golf, within the next minute or so. but I really think he needs to flex into Delta more and get a firm grasp there, or maybe try and do something in Echo, but just leaving Adler to kind of flex all around the field is kind of a losing formula, I think.
Yeah, for Grape, he just needs to play a bit more traditional at this point. Just secure Gulf, send some infantry through. He's got a good foothold into Delta as he still controls the triangular forest, which is very important. And he does have a rather nasty tank here and a decent amount of infantry. And then just try to do a bit of probe and action to Echo and just try to play the 50-50 line.
Yeah, and we see some action here in Golf. GrapeJellyMan getting a little aggressive here. The AMX-10 for Adler kills a BTRT, but that K1 pushed up with no infantry support. He decided to follow the T-72's lead there, and the VDV get a nice shot into it, taking a big chunk of health out, but it does live and is able to back out.
Oh.
We see both players now moving some helos in. Cobra opening up, tearing into the Superior right there, or into the BTRT. K-29 moving in to probably hit these Roviats as well.
Yeah, but the problem here is that Grape doesn't have enough infantry to really continue to show, because he has the firepower to clear up what's left of Adler's forces and go. If it's just having enough infantry to... Oh, Rave? What? Why is he buying a Rave? Oh, I guess to kill the Buck.
And he flew it right over.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, he knows about it now. So the Bucks fired 2 shots, 1 misses. Second one is going to miss as well. Really unlucky there for GrapeJellyMan, and the Raven decides to evac out.
An interesting call, because he hasn't really brought out any other airplanes. So it's not like he's trying to see the path.
First airplane we've seen, right?
Yeah, first aircraft.
Yeah, he might be maybe he's trying to just probe the air defense there and see, what he found, and then kind of make a decision. I'm not sure. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. You typically don't see the seed plane as the very first plane bought in the match. We see the BTRT here still engaging some more Roviats, and so Golf is capped. So just stop the point lead here for Adler, but Adler's still with a massive amount of map control. Though the GrapeJellyMan is pushing up, and his Buck just having a horrible hit. There we go. Finally, the last one, he gets the kill on the Buck there. 3 misses out of 4, and he's gonna have to go ahead and resupply it.
Yeah. But Grape still has a chance. Like I said before, he still has a good foothold into Delta. But of course, once it gets to that 50-50 line match of just like playing this standard high ratio game,
yeah.
I mean, it's just a mechanized player. They have a lot of infantry, especially in Delta. You can just spread out much more effectively. Like for Grape, he needs to be able to, do good concentrated pushes to actually gain a big amount of territory. Heck, it's a bit ballsy, but maybe a push into Charlie might be a decent idea.
I totally agree with you at this point. There's not much in front of him here. There is a K1, and he does know about the K1 because he's engaged it. This BMPT actually took a couple of side shots from the wall right there. So he's actually having to back up a BMPT from the Roviats. Normally you'd expect him to kind of trash them in that environment. Oh, but the K1 pushing up, getting to kill the BMPT, and then the T-72 missing its first shot there. The K1 actually able to back out here. Nice pickup there for Adler.
Oh, that's definitely a very good pickup. He could have lost that K1, but fortunately the T-72 was a little bit cross-eyed.
Yeah, definitely didn't seem to have his optics ready to go. His optics were not lined up. And we see some BTR 90s coming in as well for GrapeJellyMan. I mean, I like the move. There's more infantry coming in. I agree with the Charlie push there. Oh, actually, where'd those monostroke go? Oh, no, never mind. They went to Delta.
I've seen a MiG-25 PD being brought in to actually probably try to fight down this A-10 Thunderbolt.
Yeah, that just so both of them calling out planes at the same time here. We do see the MiG-25 PD opening up, and it does get a hit on the A-10, but the rest of the missiles do miss. One of the downsides to the MiG-25, typically they're better in a pair versus just one at a time, and so the A-10 is actually going to get out.
Yeah, so...
And the T-72 from GrapeJellyMan kind of just chilling there in Golf. He is bringing up infantry, though, BTR 90s, Spetsnaz, and some VDV, but these Motostrelki just getting absolutely massacred in the open here by these Martyr 1A2s in Delta, and that's just you can't advance your infantry like that unsupported in the open against a forest line, and they quickly go down.
Yeah, and the T-72 doesn't have line of sight on the actual scary vehicle. It's been spending its time slowly picking off the infantry. And yeah, that push is pretty much buggered, yeah. If the T-72 managed to get into a position and actually deal with the Martyrs, I mean, you still probably wouldn't be able to get into the forest, but you would have been able to trade very efficiently. And now he's sending, like, he's really into sending T-72s unsupported into forest lines.
Yeah, and there's as we can see here, there's some Carl Gustavs here ready to get just get some side shots plus a K1. He needs to back that T72B out. I also really where's the smoke play for his armor? You haven't seen almost any of that the entire game. I've been kind of confused by some of the GrapeJellyMan's like tactical decisions here. Something of his just died also in that backside of Delta there by this Commandos 90. I'm not sure what they killed, but they definitely got something.
Yep. VDV gonna push up once again, but out in the open unsupported, even just a 50... Oh, yeah, Namada and the 50 cal will be enough.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird push there, losing a lot of valuable infantry and time. You definitely don't want to be on the negative end of the attrition war and infantry against a mechanized deck if you're general. Normally you end up losing the game there if that's the case, because you just can't keep up in the raw amount of infantry on the map. And the VD9 you have to pull back. And the T-72 needs to be careful. It's being very aggressive with it, and it's below half HP. Half health, excuse me.
Those decking groupers can just come in and completely deck him.
Yeah, they can definitely deck on him, for sure. We don't, though he's not, Adler's actually kind of slow to recognize his chance there to get killed there on the T-72B.
I do like his push up north though from Grape. He's actually pushing into Charlie a bit using some BTR 90s to scout ahead. And as you can see, Adler's kind of forced up into the northern corner. And even bringing in some Gurus Rail to actually do some reconnaissance on the north. So this could be a good avenue approach here for Grape. And here comes the A10, backed up by the Thunder, or I mean the Raven.
Yeah, and so here we see the actually the MiG-25 coming back out down here, missing once again on the A10. I think something hit it for 1 HP of damage. But yeah, that's just the big problem there with the MiG-25. I really like it, but I like it if you have two of them together. They typically perform a lot better there. Obviously, with GrapeJellyMan, he doesn't want to probably spend points on planes right now. But his push in Charlie has definitely been effective. We just have to see now, can he actually hold the territory?
Yeah, the nice thing about Charlie is that once you get a good foothold into it and actually fully capture the zone, there's a lot of open field between you and the command point. And of course, with the Soviets with heavy tanks and good IFVs, they can contest the open field pretty effectively. One of the BTR-90s is probably going to face some lore in the rear quite quickly here.
Yeah, he might want to turn around and, watch his booty there, because the Roviats are definitely on the hunt for some cheeks. But the BTR-90, the other one actually taking down the Cobra there. So nice little pick off there. And he is doing well there in Charlie. It's kind of a little weird how there's like the remnants of the force. Oh, the VDV-90 getting the kill at K1. I was about to talk about it. The remnants of the troops hanging out in that upper part of Charlie there. And he did counter cap Delta. So he does have a +1 currently ticking, but not a lot of substance in front of it. And we do see here two K1s and a Martyr pushing up for Adler and Delta.
E10 coming in. Oh, it doesn't get line of sight in the T-72, which is a bit of a shame, for Adler. It's coming around for round 2. Once again, no line of sight.
And the Buck does get a hit there. He's down to 1 HP. Second missile out. Yep, and there goes the A-10. Really didn't accomplish anything. K-52 also out on the field now as well. But I don't actually know what he...
Why?
I mean, I guess the Gepard?
Yeah.
Sweet SCR... so BTR-90 actually going to town there, taking out 3 different transports from Charlie. So the AT-4, wildly missing there as it kills off the Swedish shock infantry.
I love that BTR-90, man.
Yeah, like it's just going to town.
It's basically a BMPT, but without the armor.
Yeah, just absolutely trashing. He's more than paid for himself there. And those Roviats, I'd be careful with Adler. You don't want to push... Oh, there you go. So the Law's going to actually be able to get shots here and does get the kill. It saves the Commandos as well. But still, that BTR-90 went to town.
Yeah. Yeah, but it does seem like Grape is starting to slowly gain some momentum back. But, I don't know. I mean, Charlie, at least the northern part, it's not very combat effective here from Adler. I mean, that Flag Pounder can do damage, but I think he's just wanting to keep it in ambush for an opportune moment. Maybe try to snipe a KA-52. It'll just be a pretty funny kill. But yeah, he's got the Spetsnaz Screw coming in. It's just, he just needs the substance. But once again, with Soviets, that's hard against a mechanized player on a map like this because it's hard to control those forest areas.
Yeah, I think the big mistakes that both players have made is that we've now seen the Screds there engaging infantry in the open, is that they've had multiple engagements where their IFVs have been able to decimate opposing infantry squads in the open. And so we'll see here if that whoever's who's able to get their true momentum, because we're kind of entering that crunch time where hey, the move you make here is either going to win you or lose you the game. And so we see the two K1s here being called down to Delta. I imagine Adler is looking to push Delta, and there really isn't a ton in front of him there. There's a Factoria, the T-72B, and the Superi, but he does have a problem with Charlie.
Yeah, yeah, and it's probably getting to a point where Charlie's going to be pretty uncontestable. He's bringing in the K1 and, of course, some more Roviats to try and push through. But, I mean, Spetsnaz Gru and VDV-90 are quite nasty.
Yeah, they can take a lot of time to uproot, especially when they can just run around in forest there. They have great anti-tank weaponry. The GRU as well, obviously they could be monsters in the right situation. So I imagine if Adler, you might just be trying to contain Charlie, because we do see the command vehicle called out for Echo here, so he's going to try and stop the GrapeJellyMan's tick, and then I'd imagine he's going to go on the offensive here in Delta.
Yeah. We're seeing heavy Raven play, but GrapeJellyMan... Oh, those are like the crappy Osas. They're not even radar. Huh. You never see those being used.
Oh yeah, the 30.1. Yeah, I just saw OSA and I just automatically assumed it was the 65.1. That's actually pretty interesting. You don't ever see that. I'm not sure what the I know it has good HE and its helicopter range is okay, but its plane range is pretty abysmal. I think its accuracy is pretty garbage as well. So
yeah, it is. But for 30 points, I mean, if it takes 2 to kill an Apache, that's worthwhile.
Though, big problem here for GrapeJellyMan, these mortars did find the Buck, and the Buck M1 going down there, so they're scratch one heavy A piece. Actually, the Raven's now pointless because there's no other radar pieces on the field.
Yeah.
And we see this K-52. I still don't understand the point of K-52. I'm not sure why it's been brought in.
Yeah, like I understand for like maybe some ATGM helicopter, like he does have that one fancy Ka-50 Akula with a high veterancy. But the 52, there's not too much to really seed apart from that one flak panzer, and there's not too many helicopters. There's no helicopters to shoot down, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's definitely an expensive unit. Obviously, the K-52 is an awesome piece of equipment, but it does kind of feel like that's just hey, I got a K-52, I might as well call it out. And we do see here that these BTRs have pushed up, though the infantry hasn't unloaded yet. The commando pair is going to get a shot in there. Unfortunately for them, they should have dismounted before pushing the tree line again. Commando's pair is getting a shot in there, killing out one Screzit. The VDV should be able to take that position.
Yeah, it's just a decent amount of firepower with the Screzit backing them up. They are going to take heavy casualties for that push, and the K1s are starting to relocate to try and deal with said push. It feels like things are going to culminate into Delta quite quickly in regards to an armor-on-armor fight as these K1s do maneuver.
Yeah, both sides seem like they're trying to make a point of attacking in Delta at the same time. So you have a little bit of like an immediate engagement here, though Adler is just dumping infantry into this position. We have essentially 4 Roviats moving in, the Swedish shock infantry and their STR-Fs coming in as well. And these K1s, if they can stay grouped together and get a single engagement on that T-72, they will win that, and that could be decisive.
Yep, if they can get close, they can beat off the armor of the T-72B and actually gain the victory, because apart from the T-72B, it's not a whole lot of scary. I mean, the VDV is scary, but you have to get close to them for them to be scary.
Yeah, and actually a big problem up in Charlie there. GrapeJellyMan overextending his infantry. I'm not sure why he pushed them out there. The Cobra are going to go ahead and light up the GRU. The OSA is actually now pushed up in range. Oh, 1 shot, 1 kill. We talked trash about it, and it goes ahead and proves us wrong right there. Nice pickup there for the OSA.
Yeah, but the second OSA did get picked off by the Commando's powers, and Adler is going to be using it to sneak behind enemy lines. And as you can see, it's not a whole lot of... I guess the Ka-52 will actually spot him if he doesn't get shot down. He's going to get shot down, isn't he?
Yeah, it's going to be really close. The Mistral, first shot's out. GrapeJellyMan does notice. Second shot going out from the Mistral there. And that's going to take it down. You called it right there, Rang. And then at the same time... GrapeJellyMan actually bought a Jurgen while all that was going on, so he doesn't have any infantry or anything to come up and support as this push now gets fully underway here. That's a big loss, that K-52 there for no gain.
Yeah, and a big investment in Jurgen when he really needs frontline units right now, especially in Charlie, because he's kind of lost Charlie position now. The Roviats are swarming in, And this Delta engagement, I mean, it's coming down to his T-72, but he's on a single hit point, and his gun's off for some reason, which is not ideal.
Yeah, maybe it was a misclick there while he was micro. His K was going to push up there. He actually misses. Got lucky. The second one's not going to miss though, and there goes the T-72. And now all there's left is some BDV, and they're caught in the open by the STRFs.
Oh.
Yeah, the Bofors 40 mil right there is going to go ahead and tear into those VDVs. They're stunned, panicking, trying to back up here, but it's looking really rough here for the GrapeJellyMan right now, right?
Yeah, it was a very good engagement from Adler. He's pretty much cleared out Delta of any actual scary units. The Falcatorias are out of ammo, so there's a few VDV. Oh, we're coming in clutch with the SU-25T. Will it pay off for GrapeJellyMan as before?
First shot is a miss. Second shot comes out, a miss as well. And there we go. We see the Hawk opening up from the back line there. And looks like he's going to he actually gets a hit there. Ooh. So that's 25T stun. He needs to evac that out of there. Yeah, don't play with fire there.
You don't want to be losing a 200-point plane so
Nope,
early.
He's going back in. Excuse me.
It's going in hot.
Yeah, and the Hawk stopping. Going to open up. We'll see here. Does it actually connect? Oh, wow. He got super lucky there that it's actually still alive, but down to 2 HP. Yeah, this engagement, I think, is decisively turned against the GrapeJellyMan here. Too many pieces of equipment bought in the past 10 minutes rank that aren't combat units, really, or at least don't hold ground. And we see now this push here and going into Delta. That's a lot of infantry. It's backed up by APCs, IFEs, and armor.
Yeah, like SU-25T is a 200-point investment, which could have been like a lot of frontline infantry and other T-72, because now he has nothing on the front, as we can clearly see, and Adler can quite easily move on through.
Yeah, and Adler's fully committing here, as he should. He can sense, smell the blood in the water right there. The Zelda's pushing up the commandos as well. They'll find the UAZ quickly. I mean, he's pushing the Factorias up. Actually, he's just going to try and evacuate. He's like, I'm evacuating the dance floor real quick. The UAZ's dipping, but that signals to Adler that there's nothing in front of him.
Yeah. And that UAZ better have some fast gears. He needs to get out of there quickly.
Better not get stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in reverse there. He just threw it right into reverse. Trying to just get out of there, but looks to be a little too late. Oh, and the Raven actually finally paying off for itself. They're getting a kill in the buck, and I think GG was called there. GrapeJellyMan dips out.
Up and yeah, pretty standard KD ratio for a match like that. I'm doing the math here. It's like a 700 difference. Yeah, 700 on the dot actually. Yeah.
Look at you, fancy math degree.
I know, right?
Look at that.
I can do the numbers.
Well, I think the GrapeJellyMan probably should have done a little more than numbers there, because I really think Rang, and I've talked about it a couple times. We've casted him a lot. When you buy a lot of equipment that can't actually hold the front line, it needs to pay off in some respect. And so the MiG-25 by itself never really did anything. You add in the Su-25T, the Ka-52, and the Jurgen. That's a lot of points that really didn't accomplish anything in the game. And even though he was playing, I think, well, the Charlie push was really well executed. There's just nothing to back it up. And eventually Adler, as the mech deck, he had so much presence on the map, was able to kind of absorb the blow and then kind of swarm the position.
Yeah. It felt like Grape was still trying to play with his older USSR deck, where it's just like the full send helicopters, but he didn't have those units anymore, and he was still trying to play it in that way. I mean, that central push could have... It's a hard push, but if he managed to, full send and make it, that's a very good position to be in. But his T-72s were... He couldn't engage with them effectively, and like you said, just with frontline units, he just didn't trade efficiently with his troops. So it's definitely... Okay, he didn't need the Su-25T, the MiG-25 didn't do anything like you said. Especially the Ka-52 ended up just being man-pad fodder.
Yeah, and that's just the problem, I think, sometimes with the Soviets, is you kind of got to play that balance between it. And it's clear, like you said, I think that the GrapeJellyMan has a play style that he changed his deck to, a more traditional style deck, but his play style didn't change with it. And so it just felt like he never quite had both of his feet under him the whole game.
Oh. But yeah, a good job to Adler. He played that classic mech style, and as we know, mech gang is probably the best gang, really.
Mech gang OP.
Yeah. But, any final thoughts here, Mr. Graham?
No, that was pretty much all it. I had a lot of fun as always, and looking forward to next week.
Thank you very much once again for joining us, young Graham, and for you, the viewer at home, thank you for watching. And as usual, please just take it easy.